What I'm going to talk about with you today is the idea of using walking lunges with your ultimate sandbag training. I know walking lunges, really, it's one of those head drills that you see in the gym all the time or a Fitness Buddy magazine. Really though, walking lunges have a ton of benefits if you go through the right progressions and you have the right intent with the movement. A lot of the benefits stem from true single leg strength, so we're really going to be able to stabilize the foot, the ankle, the lower leg. We got hip stability, hip extension of the hamstring, glute, and full body effort in trying to balance yourself as well as producing force. You know, ironically, people don't try to load themselves in things like walking lunges the same way they would do deadlifts and squats. And I really believe if people attempted to put the same intensity in these exercises, they'd find tremendous benefit and prioritize them more in the exercises. But you need to know how to do them right and what you're trying to get out of them. So in a moment, I'm going to show you some variations and some keys in getting the most out of your walking lunge. All right guys, so we're going to start with our walking lunges here. Now hopefully you've gone through some of the other progressions of lunging that we've shown you in some past videos, because we're going to have a lot more challenge with the forward lunge. For one is we have forward momentum. So I have forward momentum not just of the weight, but my body weight that I have to decelerate as I come down and then pull myself through. What we want to do is really come up to what we call a balance step. A balance step is going to be that point where we're really truly single leg after we've applied the force of bringing ourselves forward so that we can step forward again. It's going to require us to really lock in that glute, the hamstring, and that stabilize that lower leg. If you do so, you're going to find yourself a lot more balanced. If you don't, you're going to be wobbling a lot more. All right, so let's get into it. So the first position we're going to use is what we call our front hold position. Front hold is going to be our first position because it's our most balanced position. So we're going to power clean the USB up. Now we're going to actively pull the weight in towards our body because we want to try to create some stability. I'm going to take a nice long step, come down under control, drive up to that balance step. Now you can come back down in the middle, or we could immediately translate forward again. Drive back up, make sure we balance, and we continue the walking pattern back. So again, apply force to that front heel, keep the front heel on the ground, chest up nice and tall, driving up and through. You can see that if you don't get in the right groove, you'll be wavering from side to side. Now to make the exercise more challenging, obviously I can increase weight, but I can also change the position of the ultimate sandbag. So by going into more of a shoulder position, what will happen is the weight will be pushing me side to side. So I have the instability of being on one leg, but also the instability of the weight on one side of my body. So I can shoulder the weight up and get in position. Now, also because I'm walking, it's gonna be a different stress depending on which leg is leading. So step forward, come up to balance. I can come back down in the middle if I want. Come back down, up to balance. Now, come back. So ideally, if the weight is on my left, and I step with my left, that's gonna be more challenging than when I transition to that right side, coming back down. So you're gonna find from step to step, the weight kind of varies. So in a moment, I'm gonna show you some more sort of unique variations of doing your walking lunge. So one more unique, another unique variation is basically going into our rotational lunge. Now traditionally we do our rotational lunge dropping step back because we're going to project the weight. This time we're not going to really see that projection of weight. What we're going to do is have the USB moving upon us as we're trying to move forward. So you won't see that same balance step, but what will happen is you'll have the instability of the USB. So what you want to do is still you want to go to the same side as the lead leg. So I'm going to step, rotate, come down, alternate the legs. And you may find that one side is more challenging than the other. So you want to keep the eyes straight ahead, still plant through the heel, and walk yourself as you're rotating through. The exercise can become more difficult if we start moving into a high pull. So you'll start moving a little bit faster as well. Now, if you're going to pick up speed, you're probably going to drop the weight of your USB or use a more compact USB that's a little easier to control. So we like to start from the top. I'm going to take that same step down. Now as I come up, I got to quickly transition to the other side. Okay, so let's see it again. If I step left, quickly up and over with the right. So the hardest part is not what comes up, but it's me able to quickly absorb coming back down. Make sure you set yourself up before you move to the next step so that you're in good alignment and posture to both absorb that force and then retransmit on your way up. So stay tuned for a couple more variations. So if you've been following our DVRT system for any time or been in functional fitness, you'll notice that a lot of people like exercises such as clean and squats. Great exercise, but there's no really locomotion to it. We can use the same concept in the clean and squat, but apply it to our walking lunge. Let me show you a great example. So I like to start from the top down. So if we actually take a forward deceleration hinge, we clean the weight up, we can then move into a forward lunge, come back up. Coming back down would be me reaching, quickly decelerating, cleaning, dropping forward. So I can continue this for a duration or a distance depending upon what my goal is. So that's a great way of applying sort of that clean squat concept. The other way is basically alternating that rotational lunge clean, which is a little bit more complex. So I can go ahead, lunge down. Now this time, the high pulls prepare me to clean it. I can lunge forward. I can even add a balance step. Now coming back down, rotate, absorb that weight, clean it, step to balance. So there's a ton of variations that you can use, from very simple to very complex, all using the same weight of the USB if you want, or changing the parameters of the instability of the USB, the weight, or where you position it along your body. Hope this is giving you some great ideas. Stay tuned for some more great concepts at dvrtfitness.com.